Welcome to the NAMB Podcast, where we bring you the voices that drive the mortgage industry. Join dynamic hosts Ginger Bell and Matt Shields as they dive into bold conversations with top experts, industry leaders, and change makers from across the country. From insider insights to game-changing trends, this is your front row seat to what's happening right now in the world of home finance.
Well, hi there. Welcome to another episode of the NAMB Podcast. My name is Ginger Bell. I have my co-host, Matt Shields. How are you today, Matt?
Ginger, I'm doing fantastic, and I'm so excited for our guest today. We've been able to build a relationship with him. He's been on our young professional calls. And to our listeners, we have Bochen Wang with Zietro. I'm so excited to have you on, Bochen. Thank you so much for being here today.
Hello, everyone. Thanks, Ginger. Thanks, Matt. Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely. And just want to get started with, to our listeners, Bochen and his company with Zietro. This is a service I use every day. I have the browser. I do it on the web browser or my phone, depends where I'm at. But Bochen, thank you so much for being here, and tell us a little bit about you and Zietro.
I can give some quick brief about myself, trying to keep the time short.
Yeah.
I'm in the mortgage space for almost 10 years, 11 years. I'm kind of from a different path. I joined Ellie Mae, the ICE mortgage technology first. So I started learning mortgage from a technology perspective, from the beginning origination to processing, underwriting, even to the secondary market. And but that was almost 10 years ago. So what we realized that time is the whole mortgage market is dominated by legacy or a traditional software system. And in the same time, the mortgage industry is huge. The landscape is big. There's a broker, there's a lender, there's a bank, there's a credit union, different market share. But the broker itself is counting for almost 30% of the entire mortgage origination. But this party, this group, this community itself is underserved. It's underserved by technology, it's underserved by education, it's underserved by services. And we started business beginning of 2018, 2017. And that's the first stage of like AI technology, like last generation AI technology getting more mature, like the NLP or OCR, optimal character recognition, or the recent large language model. So what we see because mortgage industry is basically building on paper and document transformation. And in a way, there'll be a great implementation for AI to the mortgage industry to help the mortgage industry getting more streamlined and getting more efficiency. But the real challenge is really not really on the technology side, what we discovered. It's really on the domain knowledge. It's on the workflow side. So we see there's so many great engineers. There are top engineers in AI, engineers in data, but they don't really know what's mortgage. So we do see there's a gap between the real technology and real world business. And in the same time, the brokerage community is underserved, it's counting a lot. So that's the initial idea, like why we want to start Zietro.
Yeah.
We see technology can play an important role for the industry. And also in the same time, the industry, part of industry is underserved. So we want to solve the problem first.
Well, and the two go hand in hand because, for mortgage brokers, they have a difficulty connecting all of the systems together. And so, being able to have that, first of all, understanding of what the technology is, and then putting all those systems together is important. And really the system you've done with Zietro is taking, for a mortgage broker, all the different guidelines from different wholesale lenders and funneling them into one place where you can go and search, because that's a challenge. And especially now, there's so many different programs. It's not just like you can run something through AUS and get an answer. Now we have the gig economy. We have people with 2 or 3 different jobs and, bank statements and all these different kind of things. So, and I want to for those of you who are listening, Zietro is available for free to use for all NAMB members. And so, Matt, you say you use it daily, and you use it free because you get that as a perk for being a NAMB member, right?
That's one of my favorite perks of being a member. And I that's the service I use the most. I'm looking up guidelines to help my team. I'm looking up guidelines for myself, the loans I'm originating. I have an underwriter review something. I get a condition that I don't agree with. I've used your guys' service so many times and snipped it and found where I need, set it off, and I got the deal approved. So it's been such a help for I love that you said workflow. This has been such a help for my workflow to be more optimized and more efficient.
Yeah. And for our wholesale lenders as well, because it's kind of like, it's almost like a dating app. And I've been married for 35 years, so I don't even know what a dating app does. But my son talks about them. And so it's that matching that up. So being able to go into Zietro, put in a scenario or a question, like you say, it's like you get something back and maybe the underwriter says, I can't do it. You can go and look that up, which is important. But for our wholesale lenders too, they have to be connected. And I think you said you have 130, 140 wholesale lenders that are in the system. Is that right?
Yeah, the programs in our system.
Yeah. And so for our wholesale lenders, in order for our NAMB members to be able to get access, you have to let Zietro know that you authorize that. It's a very simple thing, right? And so that's important. I want people to know that. And if, our members are using that and you haven't authorized it, guess what? They're not getting access to your information. So for me, that's kind of like a no-brainer. But walk me through kind of the thought of Zietro and what it does for a mortgage broker community.
Okay, thanks, Ginger, asking this question. So how we view the mortgage broker space, or like on a holistic view, we think the industry never changed, or people's work never changed since 50, 60 years ago, still doing the same. And the major two problem is on two sides. Is one, how we acquire customers at the front. It still heavily depends on referral. And another side is how they operate behind the scene, which means like the back office, the workflow is always manual and tedious. So we're trying to find the solution to solve those key problems, how to acquire customers at the front and how they operate behind the scene. About how we acquire customers at the front, I will keep updated because we have some product in base that will bring loan officer leads. Back to your question earlier, like beginning of our conversation, you mentioned exactly the brokerage pinpoint, because currently they're using couple software together. For pricing, they may need a loan sifter, AutoBlue. For the LOS, they may need to use Calyx or Arrive. They may need to find some builder to build a website, and also they may need to find an application system like Falsify or the other one called Sonar to intake application. So it's very challenging for brokerage to understand what's a software provided in the market and to buy different individual software and then compile together to build for their own needs. In a way, this is natural because those softwares they built back to 10 years or 20 years ago. Time is evolving, technology evolving, and how people build softwares is also evolving. How we come up with a solution is we think for brokers, you don't need to subscribe too many softwares. So from Zietro, we do provide you a pricing engine, a 1003 intake, a POS system, and also a simple loan origination system for loan officer to use. So the first pain point we're trying to solve for brokerage is you don't need to buy 5 or 6 different softwares and spending a lot every month.
And a lot of them don't work together very well either. So you may have to, it's not a single sign-on, and who knows if you can even get them connected through, any kind of an API. So having one central system to work through everything is important. So Zietro provides that for the mortgage broker community. That is awesome.
Yeah, and another, or like strategy-wise, we do this way. Because one core capability for AI is that AI need to enable to talk with different systems. Because we want to use AI to price a loan. We want to use AI to underwrite, to process about bank statement, or to calculate the DTI. So the AI need to constantly talk to LOS, constantly talk to a POS, constantly talk to a PPE. So that's our second highlights. So because we own all the pricing engine, the Tunnel 3, and in the same time we build AI. So how we approach to AI is it's not just a simple wrapper around a large language model. Like I said, the challenge is really on the domain side. So you can think we break up the entire AI model and we fine tune the process at every step, like how we clean the data, how we process the data, how we train our RAG system to give the answers, and how the tune, what the tune is like. So every detail is fine-tuned for a professional to use. So one, we have all the system like all in one, and second, we build a specific AI agents to make the workflow more efficient. So we combine those together as a bundle for broker, and that's what we see. And also, we do really deeply believe in the broker market. We think the AI technology, or we really call that the real power for AI is not owned by enterprise or owned by a few people. The real power of AI is really about how to democratizing AI, to let more people using it to getting the maximized benefits. Yeah. So that's what we're heading and we're providing.
Well, it gives them an opportunity too, for mortgage brokers specifically, to have an advantage in leveraging that. And it's not that they have to necessarily understand how it works. They just have to know that that is on the underlying part of it, and then put it into their workflow. And I think that's one of the biggest challenges. You know, AI, there's so many different tools you can use. And some people have embraced it more than others. But really, for those who say, okay, I can use AI through my workflow, through systems like Zietro, and it's going to make you more efficient. And that's the thing, you know, I often speak about AI, and I think a lot of brokers are using it like for marketing and things like that. And so now we need to take it to the next level. Yes. So, you know, people always ask, is AI going to replace a loan originator? And the answer is no. It's like when the internet came along, everyone said, oh, salespeople will be gone. It's like, no, people aren't gone. You know, you can buy stuff on the internet, and it certainly has changed how that buying happens. But people will always need people. So for our mortgage broker community, it's a matter of finding the tools that you can use to make your time more efficient. And Matt, you know, I know you're recruiting, you have a young team, you lead our young professionals. So finding tools like this and incorporating this is very important. And I know, Bochen, you have some things that are coming on the horizon, and we've had a little kind of glimpse. And I love how your mind works. It's like, I can only imagine sitting down with you for a couple hours, and it's like mapping things out on a napkin and doing all that. So how do you see AI working in the future for loan officers to be able to use it, especially mortgage brokers?
So how we view the AI with loan officer is more like Iron Man with Jarvis. So AI is playing a Jarvis job. Yeah. And by the way, our slogan is we want to make every loan officer superhuman. And I think that's what AI plays in the job.
Okay.
So before, you know, as a salesperson, as a loan officer, I have limited information intake, which means I can only learn a certain type of loan. I can only learn intake a certain type of borrower, and I have my own capacity to handle a number of documents every day. But AI, in a way, unlock all the strengths for the loan officer. Like today, like you said, like majority of loan officer, they're doing referral. They depends on real estate referral to get the clients in. But we still see some loan officers are getting a good amount of loan origination every month. But imagine if there's an AI can start helping loan officer bring more leads. So that's open a new channel for loan officer to acquire customers. Before, loan officer only depends on locally, like real estate referral. Now there's online, a complete new channel for them to get more borrowers in. And I also think the retail model, I'm not very in favor of the retail mortgage company model, because their cost, their training, the limited inventory can offer to a loan officer. So I do believe the how we see the AI and the loan officer market is AI can really help the mortgage broker community. And also not only help, they can group together broker and the wholesaler community, and moving forward, make more market shares in the entire mortgage space.
I love what you guys were talking about with AI, and AI won't replace the loan officer, but the loan officer who is using AI will replace the loan officer not using AI. So as you're new getting into this business, this is like a leg up over previous years, that now you have access to all the information at your fingertips instead of having to go through, as a broker, as an originator, you're going through all these different eligibility matrices. You're reading through PDFs. You're trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work. Having all that access at your fingertips is such a game changer for everyone. If someone's not using your service, in my opinion, they're really missing the boat right now.
Yeah. So the people who use AI stays.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just echo a little bit. You're asking moving forward in the future, do they need a loan officer in space? I say in the short term, for example, I bought a house, I need a loan officer. Even I understand mortgage to a certain degree, but my personal information, like I'm a self-employed, the business owner, it's not that easy to work with.
No, exactly.
And also in the same time, I feel loan officer, the broker is really on my side and shopping on my behalf. If I go to a bank, they only sell me the product from the bank. A loan officer is a really person stand on the borrower side to help borrower shopping for the best deal. Yeah. And we see some like standardized borrowers, like W2 employee, they want to buy some like townhouse or single family in the Bay Area. That's typical buyer. Maybe in the next 10 years, 15 years, they can do a loan by themselves. But I believe majority of the homeowners or home buyers, mortgage buyers, they still need a consultant, like a loan officer, to give them instruction, to give them hand-holding over this one of the most financial decisions.
Well, and it becomes that. And I love the fact you talk about consultant, because I think rather than having the transactional mindset, the loan officer and the mortgage broker of the future needs to have that relationship mindset to where you are helping them down that, just like a financial advisor, right? Or CPA. And so, using that, you become an investment advisor as far as real estate. And so, and you think about, putting that team together. Matt, you were just talking about, how you're kind of putting your team together in your area to where you have, your financial planners and your CPAs, and you have remodeling and builders, and, so you have kind of your A team to where you can become that advisor. And what is that plan long-term? Because real estate, and I know I have been blessed to make a lot of money off of real estate through the years. And so, having a plan in place, and I think our next generation wants that, to be able to say it's not just buying a house, but it's having a plan to create that wealth. And so, when you change that and you become that, and me, I love education. So it's always, you become that educator. By using AI, and you streamline your workflow and leverage systems like what Bochen has with Zietro, now you can become that person that becomes better at being that consultant, about being that advisor, and you truly move beyond that transactional. But in order to do that, you need to have a system in place where it's not just your LOS and your AOS and all these different systems, but you have that marketing in place as well. We need to educate consumers about what that looks like. And so I love the fact by using systems, you can free up your time to become a better educator of your craft, right? So what are some of the things you're doing, Bochen, to be able to help to connect the consumers with mortgage brokers? Some of the things that you have seen in the future, without revealing too much, but what do you see in the future?
So we have a project undergoing, a starting project. It's like a Yelp, that's for professional loan officers, because we do encounter some like home buyer, their challenge. Like people, when they're buying a house, they do looking for a professional loan officer, but currently they don't know where to find. They can only find a loan officer through the real estate agent referral or through some families referral. So that's the problem we observe. And also on another side, from the loan officer, they have the same problem. They always acquire customers through the real estate referral. They don't really know how to acquire customers online. So from both parties, we combine them together to push out this Yelp website, Yelp for loan officer. And we didn't launch that long. We launched about 4 or 5 months ago, and we're currently doing regionally growth. The reason is, I think it's thanks for every loan officer's help. Because every loan officer, they sign into our system automatically created a website for those loan officers. And the loan officers can use the website to taking clients online. But in the same time, at the Zietro, we have thousands of websites that including like professional loan officer information in our domain and in the local area. So in the Bay Area, Santa Clara County. So if any home buyer or mortgage buyer, potential mortgage buyer, they Google, oh, I'm looking for a loan officer near me, our result will organically pop up and be on the top ranking. Because Google feels, oh, this company, they have tons of loan officers and they have active activity on their website. So they give our results high. And also we're using a different way, like data technology. We purchase data from data provider to identify potential home buyer or mortgage buyer. For example, we have all the rental listing data with the listing residence information. If they're within a certain age, if they have a recent life event, for example, someone living in an apartment and someone recently getting married, that may trigger the event or that may trigger the interest he's looking for a house in the next couple of months. Also, we monitor all our incoming traffic, like who's visiting our website, what's their information, where they at. So we're all using both. One is SEO. We're trying to get our result show up in the search there. And on another side, we're actively targeting potential home buyer, potential mortgage buyer, and then we advertise to them, trying to convert them to our website. And also the messaging, advertising messaging we're using, we're not advertising Zietro ourselves. No, we're advertising every loan officer.
Wow.
So when the home buyer, they're on their Instagram or on their Facebook, on their scrolling, and they will see some professional loan officer pop up. And so they can go there and start consulting, start applying to them.
Wow.
Powerful. That's an amazing service that you guys are working on and rolling out.
Yeah, we hope we can get a more public release before the NAMB annual this year, before October this year.
We will work on that. And I think just being open to all these different ideas and looking at very talented people like yourself and your team that are looking ahead of the things that our industry needs, because yes, our industry has been definitely behind the times for a long time. And so moving into the future is important, and being aware of that is very, very important. And so, having an idea as far as, the loan officer of the future, in your opinion, Bochen, what's the number one thing that they should do right now in their business? Because they're business owners, just like we're business owners, right? But what's the number one thing they should do in their business right now to make sure that they are top in their area, top in their field, top in their business in the next 5 years?
I think the most important thing now is to start learning AI. So it's not only Zietro, but also like ChatGPT, Gemini. So think about because I'm using different AI every day. Gemini, I think it's really helped me to increase my productivity, to increase my efficiency, day-to-day work. Yeah. And like Matt said, like today, I think the number is there's about 500,000, 500,000 registered licensed loan officers in the US. But when the AI, so how I view the AI is like electricity. So we're at the very beginning of the electricity stage. So electricity itself, it doesn't worth money or doesn't do any value. It really depends on how we're gonna use it. So if we use electricity to the computer, right, it gives more value. If we just leave the electricity there, it provides no value. So yeah, and I see like there's a trend. Many new technology company, they all embracing AI. they're not just using AI, they're using AI as one of their core business operation. So that's also what I see some more and more smaller size broker company, they're getting more succeed. Their attitude towards AI, they're not like, oh, I'm just trying to buy a tool, or I'm not just trying to buy another software. No, they're trying to understand the AI, and they want to rebuild their entire business built on AI, like by using different tools. I think that's the way to go moving forward. Yeah. So AI can really help everyone's productivity. Yeah.
Absolutely. Having AI's help, that's going to help scale someone's business faster. Having that AI support, maybe you don't have to hire that additional person, which is going to help your cost to close that loan significantly better. So that person who is using AI, it's going to make them so efficient. Now you can go be that consultant. You can go have all this more free time to go make the relationships, build the connections. And it just goes hand in hand, using AI as your assistant to go be you and make the connections and to make those relationships. It just goes hand in hand together.
Yes, and keep learning.
And keep learning, absolutely.
Keep learning. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
So if you're a NAMB member, you can log into your NAMB site. So you have your own NAMB login. You can go to NAMB.org. If you're not a member, become a member.
Yes.
And then check out what Bochen has and the services he offers, and how can they connect with you? Bochen, how can they connect with you? So they can go to Zietro.
Yeah, you can go to my company website, Zietro.com, Zitro.com. And also, if you're interested, you can shoot me a personal email. I'll reply to you. Yeah, it's my first name, Bochen, at Zietro.com.
Perfect. I love that. And so we love everything you're doing. Thank you so much for helping to make our entire industry better. We appreciate it, and we're excited to continue to hear everything you have going in the future. So you guys check out what Bochen has. Make sure and tune into our podcast, NAMBpodcast.com. And if you're not a member, become a member and be part of our
become a member.
Absolutely. So thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ginger. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, everyone. And hopefully see you soon.
Very good.
Thanks for tuning in to the NAMB Podcast, brought to you by the National Association of Mortgage Brokers. For more episodes, resources, and guest interviews, visit NAMBpodcast.com. Don't forget to follow, share, and subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you soon.